Welcome back to From Scraps. This is episode 2. I'm glad we're here finally. It's actually nerve wracking to think about it, but we can do it.
Yes, we can. I was sick. Actually, my whole shift was sick previously, so we all got sick and we were out for a few days.
That I'm like, oh, Jeffrey made an excuse. He doesn't want to do it no more.
I mean, it could still happen. I could just walk off right now.
You can, except we're in your house. We're gonna walk out.
That is very true, actually. I can't do that, actually.
I had to walk out.
That's true. You would have to walk out.
First things first. I finally released music.
Yes.
You know. It's doing decent. It's only the beginning. I don't expect crazy, you know. I mean, it would be nice to just one of those one-nighter viral videos or music.
Mm-hmm. You need to put a dance to it. That's why.
I think so, right? Especially in like those reels, you know,
Yeah.
those short videos.
Yeah.
I think I need to find someone that is willing to, you know, dance and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I released how many? 5 tracks. I thought my goal was to do once a month, like 2 tracks. But I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm just gonna keep pushing.
Just push them, dude.
Push them.
Fuck them.
Essentially, obviously they gotta like sound decent, you know.
Yeah.
Like right now, I got like a couple more tracks that I'm gonna release for February.
Mm-hmm.
And just keep pushing. Like, and I'm gonna grab new ideas how to like promote them and all that stuff.
Yeah.
As of now, I think I'm on the right track when it comes to releasing and putting my music in every kind of social media I can think of, or at least that's kind of relatable to what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Other than that, I just been working on that, you know.
That's good.
You know, and just trying to progress, trying to learn a system where I can do it quicker.
Yes. And that's good because I want to talk about systems today, actually. There's a quote, right? It goes something like, those who struggle have goals. Those who succeed have systems. All right. How true do you think that is?
It depends. I guess it depends how ambitious you are to get it too, you know. Because like what I mentioned previously right now, like I wish I could be one of those one night viral videos that, you know, like you go to sleep and next morning you wake up, you have $500,000, you know.
Okay, based on that, how ready do you think you are for success? If you were to go viral, right?
I'll be ready.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
You think you can be able to handle it all?
Yeah, all the negativity. Yeah, of course.
Not just the negativity, like how
I think that's the biggest thing you need to learn how to handle. The positivity is easy to handle, dude.
I'm not talking about the positivity. I'm not even talking about negativity or positivity.
But that's the biggest key.
I'm talking about like the biggest life changes in your life.
I mean, what worse can it get?
It can get pretty bad.
Can it?
Yes, it can.
I guess. I mean, the way I see it is I'm only looking at the positive side, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know there's always going to be negative shit.
Well, of course.
You know? So I'm like, if I'm already thinking, oh my God, there's going to be so much negativity or, you know, all this crazy changes, and I'm focusing on the wrong thing at the moment, you know? When I should just be focused to get there. And then once I'm there, I'll learn how to handle all that. You know? But you can't be walking in thinking that you're already there when you're not even there. You know?
What do you mean?
Yeah, you're already thinking ahead of time when you're not even there. You know?
Yeah.
When in reality, let's get there first, and then we'll figure the next step.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So that's what I'm saying. Like, negativity, I don't care if there's negativity in there.
Well, yeah,
I don't care if there's positivity.
Always
negativity. Huh?
Negativity is always going to be there.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm saying.
positivity.
I'm not worried about that. You know? Because that's part of the system, at least in the music industry or even film
Any
industry, you know?
Every industry.
Essentially, yeah, you're
Anytime
right.
anyone's famous, it's going to be negative and positive.
And even the smaller things in life, you know? You can be a manager in McDonald's, and there's always going to be hate.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even the simplest
fast
thing.
food workers get hate all the time.
Yeah.
You fucked up my order.
Yeah, you get work in a factory, and there's always going to be a guy that has
Yeah.
negativity towards you.
Of course. That's just life. It's part of life.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So essentially, I'm like, am I ready for change? Yeah. I mean, I'll be awesome. You experience, you know? You just got to go for it. can't be afraid of it.
I think the couple of things that I am worried about for change is how much will my life change, because a part of me wants to be successful but not known, you know? Because being known comes with its own consequences, of course, obviously. What's up?
Funny thing you mentioned that. I saw a cool video that says, what was in Spanish?
Uh-huh.
It said, oh, he has a good life.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
No.
No? It's really good.
Okay.
It's like a minute video. So it starts with this guy on his bike.
Uh-huh.
And he sees a guy across the street with long hair, you know, with like nice long hair and shit.
Yeah.
And this guy was bald. And his first thing to say, oh, what a good life. Meaning like, oh, he has nice hair and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's already praising that or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The guy in the long hair is running. I believe he was running.
He's looking back at the bald guy.
No.
Oh.
He sees a couple eating at a restaurant, I believe. And he looks at them. He's like, oh, what a good life.
What a good life.
You know?
Yeah.
And then it points to the couple. And the girl is looking at her phone, seeing all these pictures of other females having fun and the friends and stuff. Yeah. And she's like, oh, what a good life. You know? And then it turns back to the guy in a bike or something. I believe so. And he was looking at the news or something. And he was looking at this, I believe, golfer. And he was looking at him. He's like, oh, man, what a good life. You know, because he looked like he's famous and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So then the golfer appears out of nowhere in a public place. And you know how it is. Now you mentioned, you know, like you're a public figure. Everybody's going to take a picture, you know.
Yeah.
All this, you know, like not being alone, you know, essentially. So he looks back at the guy with the long hair that he was at that restaurant, and he was just like sipping his drink, chill, nothing. All the attention's at him. And he turns around like, what a good life.
Yeah, because like for me, it's like I'm already a hermit. You know, I don't really go out much. Like I like my privacy. I like keeping to myself. You know, I like small get-togethers. Like I don't like too much attention to me, which is weird because like.
No, I totally get you, dude.
Yeah, but it's like it's weird because of the things we want to do. If we succeed, we're just automatically going to get attention. Any success will put attention on you, essentially.
Luckily, these days you can get a little bit away with that, you know.
Yeah, but even then, like, say you have 1 million followers, you show your face once, whatever, you know, like.
That's gonna be a mission.
In a clip, yeah, because like. It'll be hard. Maybe it's a lot easier for musicians because all they have to really do is put out music, you know. But like if I'm doing a YouTube video, it might be a lot harder for me because people will want to collab and shit. But like if you start collabing too, like you might start taking pictures with people and they post it on their Instagram or whatever, assuming you get successful and we get successful and stuff. And people are like,
I was thinking going that route where like if I put some kind of mask on or something like that. Not only that, but because I feel like that attracts attention more too when you have a one of a kind kind of like, you know, mask on and shit. I kind of was thinking that route too, you know, myself.
So you're not entirely prepared for the change. That's what I was really asking about. Is like you're gonna get so much attention. I don't care about the positivity, negativity. Obviously, we both understand that it's gonna be a part of it. But like your life now. And your life then are not equal. They're not going to be the same. You can't just go into any place anymore normally because you might have someone swarm you. You might have someone try to take a secret picture of you, especially if you're trying to hide your shit already. You know, I feel like it can become more anxiety inducing.
Yeah, it's definitely a mission.
Yes.
You know, to hide yourself.
Yeah. And that's the part that I'm not prepared for. Yeah, because I already have social anxiety, but like that's also something I'm trying to fix.
Yeah, you definitely got to fix that.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
Like I said, I'm not too worried about that. I'm more worried about getting there first.
Yeah, but that's my filler word. But
that is
definitely mine.
We gotta write every single word. Hey, you say this too much. Oh no, you say. We gotta switch our words to okay. You get to say this
Right.
word today.
Yeah, pretty much. Here are my filler words. You use them. I'll use your filler words. See how it feels.
Yeah, but I mean, let's just keep grinding till we get there.
Yeah.
There's no stopping right now.
Yeah.
Something like that shouldn't stop you.
Yeah. But it's crazy because I had a dream today before you came, right? I took a nap because you're like, oh, I'll be there around whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. I can sleep a little bit more. All right. So I slept a little bit more. And in that time frame, I had a dream that was like, holy shit, this explains a lot. And I maybe you can relate, right? Because it's kind of a double-edged sword. You know? So for me, like I live with my mom, you know, it's just me and her, the whole family. It's just literally me and her. We don't have any other family here. So in my dream, I was some kind of tech for like a mechanic, not like for cars or anything, but like for just machines. And I was in charge of two places. And one of the places I had like insurance, like I was allowed to be on the premises or whatever. But in this case, like I had to bring my mom with me. And I was just trying to get in and get out, right? Get in, do my job good, and just leave. But it felt like it was hard for me to do that because I had to sneak my mom in. I had to like do all these kinds of adjustments so she can get in. But like if I try to go fast or if I try to just like leave, like I end up hurting her somehow, you know? And that's one of the things that I have in the back of my mind is like I just can't get up and like leave to go try something. It like that's how it feels because to me she was the one who stood by me the longest, you know, because obviously she has other kids, you know, and like not to throw her under the bus, but like it's a little bit of survivor's guilt because she decided to leave them, but she decided to stay with me, you know, and that's kind of fucked, right?
Big time.
Yeah, but like she never forgot about him. Obviously, she sent them money, blah blah blah. Not the point. For me, it's like
You got to throw her in the bus too now.
like I almost feel like I have to, but I know I can't, you know? And it's so hard because like I kind of want to just say fuck it and just like go move to some other state and like try to make something happen, you know? Like I feel really trapped here, especially in this state. You know, I'm sure you feel the same because like this state is like there's not much to offer, especially in like our little area that we're in. You know, if we move to the city, maybe it's different, but it's hard because like I can't just get up and go, you know, like and just leave my mom here in the dust, you know. So
yeah,
it's like,
so it's essentially a guilt you got in your back,
Yeah.
you know. Like if I leave her, then what is she gonna do? You know,
yeah, but
Let's be honest, survival wise.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
it's like if I don't leave, like I might not ever actually have the chance properly to give myself, you know.
I think many people go through that. You
Yeah.
know? I don't know if it's more on the Hispanic or
I think it's just the foreign side.
Foreign
in
side,
general.
right?
Yeah,
Yes,
because I
that's-
think everywhere, but for some reason, everywhere but America, like it's really family oriented.
yes,
Their
yeah.
culture.
They always say, "Oh, Mexicans are family." No, I think everywhere
Yeah.
else they are,
Yeah,
except America.
yeah,
You know, they kind of lose that, and I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
true.
Like it's pretty hard to identify if it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess not completely wrong, but not completely right. You know, there's benefits and
Yeah,
and-
it's
and-
double-edged sword for real.
It's hard to think about stuff like that, dude.
It
honestly.
is, and like I have that dream, and I feel like I've had more dreams like that, you know, and it's like because it's something that's always in the back of my head, you know, and even though like I talk to my mom about it, she's like, you can just go, right? Like, I know you have to live your life, like you can't just like stick by me all the time. It's like I
At the
feel
same
guilty
time,
as
I
fuck.
feel like they're trying to guilt trip you with that.
a little bit,
right?
yeah.
Like, oh, mijo, you can go
Right.
and stuff. But in the back of their mind, like, you might have not fucking leave.
Pretty much. You know, and it's just, it feels a little stun locking, but I just got to learn to get through it. You know, maybe one day I'll be like, look, I have to go. I have to do this. I have to try. And if I fail, I will come back. If I don't, then I will. Then, but pretty much, we'll see you later. No, then I will come back and spoil the fuck out of you, you know? It is hard. And I feel like you can relate to that too, especially because you have like, you know, a younger sibling. Yes. You know, and now that they're getting older, like it's hard for them to function on their own. And it's like, damn, like.
I wish time froze, right? Like,
Yeah.
just stay like that.
Yeah.
Or go do my thing and I'll come back.
Or like maybe I should have just tried this a lot sooner. You know, like when
I think
was
that's
really young.
The thing. We should have tried it sooner, but we also didn't really get any kind of knowledge from no one, you know?
Yeah.
On what to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know? We didn't have that kind of support. Believe it or not, growing up. Like, we had that support, like, oh, échale gana, like, you know, do your thing.
Yeah, but don't forget about me.
But don't forget about me type of thing. Yeah.
Go live your life, but bring me with.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
It's like, I'll be right here.
Yeah. So
it's like, fuck. Yeah, it's a real struggle, isn't it? And it's like you're trying to make both things work at the same time, but like trying to do that, like, it's just shit doesn't work. Like,
I think that's why many people just end up doing repeating the same process, just having a family and just, you know, because they don't really go out and actually find their real talent or real goal. Or whatnot. They just fall into that.
Yeah, because like, so for me right now, I have like this plan in the back of my head. I haven't talked to anyone about it yet, but like I want to save up a bunch of money, at least like 10 grand plus, you know, and then I would just want to survive off of that for a little bit and just try to really work on my craft, whether it's here or whether I move somewhere for whatever reason, you know, like for a couple of months, and we'll see what happens. But like obviously I can't just drop my job now, you know.
Quit tomorrow, though.
I should, right? I'm gonna call right now.
As we're talking, he's quitting right now. No.
But it would be really helpful because I'm trying to keep like this place that I have now because I'm the one paying the rent at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's just really hard to
manage everything, you know.
Yeah. Because it's 8 hours there, a little over 8 hours, and then all the commute time, it makes it like 9 hours, you know, and then sometimes you do overtime because you need the money. The money is helpful, obviously. And
this is where we all fall into like new age thinking, where it's like, that's why I can't have a family right now, you know, because we all think everything's expensive. We see everything being more expensive. Cost of living is crazy.
Yeah.
For the most part. But, I mean, I think we just got to sacrifice one thing.
Family?
Usually that's what it should be, you know?
You sacrifice family to do it for family.
Yeah, that's the crazy
funny part,
right?
Yeah. That's the funny part. Like, how does that work?
We will never know what's the right way to go.
No, we just have to go.
We just have to do whatever you have to do, you know? Like, whether it's...
Yeah.
There's like we were mentioning about you know, getting to be known and stuff. There's always going to be positives and negatives, you know?
Unfortunately, that's just life, dude.
Like, if you really want to be out there and be successful, you're going to have to sacrifice family.
Yep.
Really, that's what it is.
And it's weird because, like, positive and negative, and you're always in the middle, so you're always neutral.
Yeah.
You know, that's funny.
Yeah. But it's really just sacrificing for a little while. It's not like you're going to sacrifice forever.
Yeah. So it's hard. It's just... Because, like, what do I do? Like, I just leave her here? And, like, let's say I like... Fuck it, I'm gonna try California for a year, you know? Because obviously that's where everyone fucking goes. Or, like, Texas, because people are starting to go there now.
I think Texas, though. It's closer,
Maybe,
too.
Probably. You know? So it's like, I say, fuck it, I'll just go there.
Someone wants to sponsor us, we'll move to Texas and start the podcast over there, too. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to that.
Yes.
I'm positive people can relate to that.
Yes.
Because we see those cases every day, man.
100%.
At least for us Hispanics, we see that all the time.
Yep.
You know? That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to learn how these Americans do it.
All right, get the fuck out of here.
You know?
Smack him in the back of the head. Get the fuck out of here.
All right.
You're 18, you pay rent, or you get the fuck out.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And when they turn 65, all right, old people's home
Right?
it is.
Get the fuck out of here. Yep.
See, I don't want to go that extreme either.
Me
It's
neither.
like, oh man, how do we do this? You know.
Mm-hmm.
I think leaving them, letting them go at a young age is cool. If you know they're gonna actually do something, you know. But it all depends on how you raise them to begin with.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I don't know. I think everyone who's 18 should go out, even for just a year, just on their own. You know, try to see how they can make it work. See if they like it. They don't have to go to college or anything, but they have to try to make it work on their own. Because it will, I think, like, those times, because, like, when I went to college, right, at NIU, like, I was living practically alone with my ex at the time. It was great. Like, I felt like I actually had a life for the most part. I actually felt like I was progressing in the world, and now I don't. You know?
Also, because we're older, dude.
Yeah,
we've seen
100%.
more things already.
Yeah, and I think that's why, like, when you're 18, just go out and try to make it work if you can. You know, if you're able to. You know, if you're not able to, you know, obviously, you gotta take care of yourself too. But
Also, it all depends how your parents raised you. You know, if your parents raised you with motivation too. Otherwise, you can be an 18-year-old who's just at home playing video games.
me,
Oh, not you, Jeffrey.
I do it for a living.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm making 1.5 a year.
Some 17-year-olds are doing that, just playing at home, making YouTube videos. You know?
But for the most people that don't get to that luck, you know, you gotta just get out there and try your luck somewhere else.
Yeah, for most people our age, we just have to go.
And I don't really think it's just what we're doing, but anything, you know.
Yeah, that's
You
what I'm
wa-
saying.
If you want to be something successful, I think.
That's what I'm saying. Just go out there for a year on your own. Try to make something work, whatever you want.
Especially once you turn 20, from your 20 to your 30s, that's probably the prime time of
100%.
just going all out, you know.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying go all out by saying go to clubs, none of that.
Unless
crap.
you want to be the best club goer in the world, I don't. You know,
Well, I
which
mean,
is a
unless you
goal,
become
right?
the best club promoter,
True.
bring something of benefit out of it, you know.
Yeah, because I mean, if you go to like clubs, like work on your social skills.
Yeah,
100%, you know?
You can grow something bigger than just
Yeah.
going to clubs, you know.
Yeah, at least you know you're getting something out of the clubs besides just getting fucked up, which is whatever.
I think traveling and everything should be in your 30s, but I think 20s should be like strictly all about a career. You know?
Yeah, something. But it's so hard because like.
But people kind of do it backwards. People
It's-
start their careers
Uh-huh.
at the 30s, like us.
Yeah.
When in our 20s, we should have been such a fuck up and actually, you know, start something big.
Yeah, I mean, not to say that you're never gonna fuck up after your 20s, right? Like, you're always gonna fuck up, but like, there's a lot more leeway when you're that young to fuck up, and you should just fuck up all the time because you're gonna fuck up all the time. Just try to make it work, is what I'm saying. Try to make something work.
Yeah, but most people at their 20s, they think it's like, oh, I'm young. I have time.
Yeah. Yeah, time just it'll leave you before you even see it. Yep. Cuz like you, if you would have never quit music at an early age, you just kept going and kept going, you 100% would have been successful by now. If I had done it, if I had done the same and when I was in the band, we 100% would have been successful for what we define, you know?
Yes.
I'm not gonna say like 100 million people listen to us every day or whatever.
We're not going to be Taylor Swift, let's put it.
Yeah, or we could have been, you know, but that's not the point. Yeah, we would have actually been able to live off of what we did. I think, 100%. You know, and that's like the crazy thing because since we started so young, you know, and we did it without like care or anything. Like we just did it for the love.
I think
and
that's where it
passion.
was, right? Because
Yeah.
we essentially started this at a youth age or young age,
Mm-hmm.
but we just didn't know, or we didn't have any guidance on how to, grow this.
We didn't, but at the same time, we didn't really care as much. We envisioned that we would get famous or whatever, but like we didn't
know the business side of it. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
And we didn't really think that like, okay, maybe I could make it.
Mm-hmm.
We just knew like, oh, let's just have fun and see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, we should have always seen this as a freaking business. Essentially, eventually, once we knew we had the skills, like, all right, how can we make this grow now?
Yeah, our business knowledge at the time was like, oh, he's getting paid for this, I can too. And that's it.
Yeah, like, oh, they gave him 100. Fuck it.
It'd be like that though. I mean, anyways, who are like some people that you look up to right now? Who are you trying to model yourself after?
Well, I mean, producer-wise, I look up to this DJ or producer named Claptone.
Okay, I've never heard of him, actually.
He's a tech house DJ.
Uh-huh.
I look up to him because he does good music. He produces good. His style mixing is so fucking clean.
Yeah.
I've seen his shows, like, at least online I've seen them, and they look really cool.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much it. Like, other
Just
than
him?
that, like there's so many good artists. Don't get me wrong. There's so many good artists out there. But I'm saying the one I can relate to more. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not for you.
Yeah, like, I'll listen to their music, no doubt. There's so many artists that I listen to. So many good DJs out there, producers. But this one is just particularly like, I'm like, damn, that dude is fucking awesome. And it's crazy because he wears a mask.
Okay.
So maybe that's why I'm like, I can relate to that too, because I'm like, maybe I would like to do like, music wise, looks wise, skills wise, just like the place where he DJs at, I'm like, damn, I want to be there,
Yeah.
What about you?
Before that, I have a quick question.
Yes.
So when you go into like making your music, do you like model it and try to get it as close to his style of music?
Definitely no.
Okay, so
I think I'm more inspired by his ways, not necessarily his production, even though I love his music.
Okay.
I'm not trying to like be him. I'm just trying to like look up to him and see, like, I'm like, okay, that's
like on the business side, like the showman
side.
side. So he's a good showman side for you.
Yeah.
But who's like a good like music? Like, what kind of music do you want to model yourself after? If you had like to name like 3 or 2.
Dang, that's a hard one, dude, because there's so many. Let me see. There's.
Well, I think the reason I ask is because like,
I think 3 or at least 2 that I have in mind. Well, if anything, 3, because I will include him, because I'm like, I will include him because he's the one that I watch the most,
But you watch him more for showman, not for music.
No, music too. That's
what
I'm saying. Music, I love his music too. Yeah, but if you hear my music, nothing like what he plays. That's the issue. I'm like, I kind of identify with that dude, but when I translate it to making my music, I'm like, I know this dude wouldn't play my music, because it's a whole different style of electronic music.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if I had to choose 3, it would be him, Crazy Visa. Crazy Visa is so cool. And Blocking Crown.
Blocking Ground?
Crown. Like Crown.
Okay. Never heard of any of these people.
No. They're all house music producers.
Like I say, it makes sense because they're not in my like realm of what I listen to,
Yeah, so if I had to choose 3, I choose them. Yeah, they're usually not like the big EDM superstars,
That's fine.
Like Afrojack or Tiesto type of thing. They're not really like that.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying they're not good DJs over there too. They're freaking amazing too. But these are more like my style of house music. One thing I always hear is, what's the difference? Like, what's the difference? And they all electronic music sound the same. Like, that's the issue, There's differences if you actually put attention to it,
Of course, that's any genre.
Yeah. It's like I can say reggaeton sounds all the same, but...
Because it does.
because it does.
I'm just kidding.
We can both agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's good reggaeton and there's amazing reggaeton. You know, that's the difference. In every genre, there's so many artists now, you know, that are
100%.
good. Whether you're into rock, hip hop, reggaeton, electronic, Mexican music, and all that stuff, you know.
Mhm.
There's so many good artists in every genre now. So at least those three are my thing.
Okay. I mean, the only reason I ask is because a lot of the times, like, artists model their songs after, like, a blend of other artists, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just wondering if you did that.
No, I just got inspired with it, but I wouldn't say I try to copy their sound, you know. I look into more than just the sound. I look into weird things into the sound, into the songs. Like how long they last.
That's not weird.
Yeah, not weird, but normally most people want to replicate their sound, but I look into more how they how long do
Structure.
they do their build-ups, how long do they do their song in general.
Yeah, the composition.
Yeah,
Composition
I look
and
into
structure.
that more often.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like you're trying to be one of them.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm trying to be as
in this
professional
space,
as what
yeah.
they're putting out, you know. That's what I look at.
And it's what you're going to need,
Yeah.
you know? Like even with me, you know? Like, if I'm trying to be like a YouTuber, like, I have to study them, obviously, you know? Like, I have to study the hook, the intro, like, the length, like, oh my gosh, whatever, the thumbnail, the title.
Yeah, exactly.
stuff
So
like
you're
that.
trying to learn the actual way of how to build
Yeah.
it, not necessarily how they sound,
Yeah.
you know. So that essentially that's what I'm doing too. With
And
many
it
of
gets
these
interesting because, like, even when I was in school, and I didn't like this part of school, because once you know too much, like, you can never go back. Like, you just start always analyzing. And it's, like, no longer, like, can you just do it just to enjoy? You're always like, oh, he did this thing. Oh, they did this thing. Oh, why did they exclude this? You know, like, why did they make it this long and not this long? Like, why did they choose this scale and not that scale? Why did they choose this thumbnail? Because, like, a lot of the times they change thumbnails if one's not performing well. Like, you'll see it. Sometimes you won't even see it because I'm there and I'll see it, like, right when they upload it, and then, like, a day later it's a different, like, thumbnail, different title because that wasn't working. It's just weird.
But that's why you keep, you know, doing your research and learning from these pros essentially.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just what it takes. Like, you have to be, like, all, like, super fine detailed about, like, someone's craft, especially if you appreciate it, or if you're trying to be in that space as, like, a household name.
But what's crazy is that when it comes to making music, I do get inspired by different genres.
That's fine.
You know, that's the funny thing for me. Like, I don't get inspired by other house artists. I get inspired by other, like, music, you know, 70s music, 80s music, old music in general. I'm like, how can I recreate this or make this into a house sound?
I mean, this is just a general question. It's not like, oh, this is going to damage your career, or is this not going to damage your career if it's about your career. Do you think there's, like, a market for that, like an audience trying to find that kind of music?
What do you mean? What music?
The music that you just described, where you get inspired by, like, 70s, 80s, like, and it's always something random with the artist. I wouldn't
think it's more like to sell. It's more like, what can I recreate in my mind that will sound.
No, I know, but do you think there's, like, an audience for that style of music?
That's a good question because I don't even know.
Yeah, because
honestly, I don't know. It's more like I'm gonna make it and see how the people like it. You know.
Yeah.
If they don't like this ingredient, then I'll switch it up a little bit. You know, until I kind of find my soft spot where I like it and people like it. You know? I don't plan on always doing it the same way. Eventually, you got to evolve yourself. You know, evolve as you progress. Mm-hmm. So let's say I started with these sounds, but next year I'll be using new sounds. You know, new melodies that come to me, or in general, new ways of putting the music. You know.
Do you ever worry that might, like, hinder your growth? Saying you do, like, you kind of stick to one style this year, but then next year it's like a different
not style. House music will be always my style.
Yeah.
It's just adding new flavors to it, you know. Example is when we go back to reggaeton, when reggaeton was all reggaeton, but eventually they started adding hooks, you know, chorus, all that stuff.
More hip hoppy.
Yeah, more hip hoppy. You know, they eventually evolve. So same thing with me. You know, this year I can be doing this sound, and I'm like, okay, but eventually I start adding something else to it. You know, it evolves by itself. You know, it really does. And it's actually fun because you're like, wow, you know, I didn't know I can do this, you know, like, wow, I did this, I did that, you know. So it's fun. I see it as like, I don't see it as a bad thing that it will ruin, or if there's audience, there's always going to be audience for something good. There's some genres I'm like, how? You know?
Yeah.
But people, there's always audience for people.
Yeah, like what is it? Industrial, something dark, deathcore, some shit like that.
Yeah, you know, like, but people love them, you know?
So, okay, is your end goal to be a showman, like performer?
Well, I mean, I did start as a DJ, but I stopped doing that because I wanted to focus on this.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to do it backwards. I'm like, I want to become a good producer because I already know the DJ side, you know? Like, I just want to become a good producer. And then, yeah, like an artist, you know, go play your music out in person, you know? So, yeah, performer, heck yeah, dude. Because in reality, that's where the money's at. You know? So.
Is it?
Performing? Heck yeah, dude.
Maybe.
It's definitely more than just getting your music played.
I don't know about that. Okay, more nowadays. And it depends if you're independent. You know? If you're independent, it will be a lot harder to get shows done. Because it's all coming out of your pocket, right? And if you're signed with somebody, the contracts are usually just shit. So they end up taking the majority of everything, regardless. Is what I'm hearing, right? I'm not in the industry, obviously. You know, it's just what I hear.
I don't know much about it, but I mean, I read a couple of things about it, but not fully.
Yeah, and especially like on like the EDM, like house side, like I have no idea.
Yeah.
Right? This is just like a general blanket statement. But like I recently saw this podcast with Connor Price. You know, he's an artist. He's an independent artist. He hit like 1 billion views or 1 billion Spotify listens or whatever.
Yeah.
He revealed how much he was making a month as an independent artist, and like he's going on tour and everything. He's making pretty good money.
Yeah.
You know, maybe. I think if you can get your songs played a lot on Spotify, you can make really good money. Because he was making like $250,000 a month or something.
Just on plays.
Just on plays. And that's ridiculous, you know? And obviously with that kind of clout, you can get sponsorships. They can pay you more. And stuff.
Oh, yeah. I feel like the performance come easily like that, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I want to start as a producer. I want to get the place out there before I can actually perform, because it's hard to build an audience when you're just performing, you know, because you're gonna be more underground.
Yeah,
more underground and stuff,
and probably more gate kept. But I mean, at the same time, like at this new age, like I don't know, maybe you still can be.
Also,
you
gotta meet the right people.
Always.
If I know one thing about this industry is you gotta meet the right people.
That's every industry. If you know the right people, like you'll more than likely get.
Like talent goes only so far.
Yes.
Sadly, talent only goes so far. You gotta meet the right people.
Yep.
You know. So that's another big goal that you and I both had to do.
Yeah.
Whether it's you doing gaming, whether it's just me doing music, we gotta meet the right people.
Yeah, and it's.
So if you're out there hearing this, let's talk.
True.
You know. See, I gotta learn more about this social media stuff.
And I think that's kind of like where I'm coming in from, is like, because I'm trying to learn the social media stuff, and it's just so tough, you know. And I kind of found out how the algorithm works a little bit on YouTube, which is like kind of weird. So what it does is like the first video you upload, it'll send it to like a really small group of people, like let's say 100. and it'll be like, all right, how many people like watch this, click through it, whatever. And if it does really well, it'll push it to like 10 times that, to like 10,000 people in the next pool. How well does it do there? If it doesn't do well, it won't push it anymore. You know, it's trying to get your video out there is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've realized is that if it doesn't get pushed out there a lot, it's because your video sucks.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the hard truth about it.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
like not a
definitely.
lot of people just want to watch it. But the whole point of YouTube is to have people get on their website and stay there.
Yeah, because all the ad revenue and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And that's what I mean. You got to put out not only good audio, but good visual too, you know?
Yeah, and not only that, 50% of like the reason people watch your video is for the thumbnail and the title.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's 50%. That's not even like, it's not like.
And I've fallen in that, dude. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I've fallen in that
Yeah.
trap where I'm like, oh shit, this looks interesting.
This looks interesting, but the video sucks, right?
Yeah,
And they're like, oh fuck this shit. This is terrible. What the fuck?
yeah. But they
You
did
know.
a good job on that.
On the thumbnail
Intro
and title.
shit.
And like, there's videos out there that are really well done, but the video and thumbnail are so trash that no one wants to click on them. Obviously, you know.
Golly.
Yeah, but like shorts is gonna work differently because people are scrolling.
Yeah, so you got to get them right away.
Yeah, so
Like,
it's
once they scroll to your video, you're like, you got 2 or 3 seconds to get their attention.
literally,
Otherwise, they'll just flip.
you know, it's like how do you stop them from scrolling over your video?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how Connor Price blew up, right? Like he did skits,
Mm-hmm.
but he incorporated his songs into it, so
Interesting.
it worked really well. Yeah, and he just started blowing up really quickly,
Mm-hmm.
which is good for him. And maybe you can try that too, you know, because he'll do this skit where like he walks into his room. It's just like a regular room, like where he produces. He doesn't produce. As far as I know, he doesn't produce.
Yeah.
But he's like he also acted before this, so he would walk in. He would be the producer. He would be the rapper, and he would be like some other guest sometimes. And it's just like a regular, it feels like an SNL skit almost, you know, like, hey, what is your weird brother doing here? And then he'd go to cut to the producer. He's like, oh, just forget about him. He said something about like, if you cut a hole into this, it'll sound like a flute or whatever, right? And he just like, it cuts to him like cutting the cucumber or carrot or whatever the fuck with a drill and shit. And then he's like, all right, can you just pull up that other song that we were working on the other day? And then he'll be like, all right, I got you. And then the guy with the flute will start playing something. He's like, wait, hold on, record this or whatever. And then he'll start like a beat will go over that, and he'll start rapping, and that's his song.
Yeah, you will start sampling then.
Yeah, but that's his song that he's dropping that day, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like finding like little quirks like that. Like it'll stop people from like scrolling, you know. It's
Yeah.
weird. So you know.
Crazy little ideas, right?
Yeah, but it worked so well for him, especially since he did grow up acting. Like he was just so natural at it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because you just explained it to me. I wanted to hear it myself.
Yeah, and I'll probably show you after this. You know,
Yeah.
a couple of his like, cause like sometimes I'll watch it and I'll just like scroll. Like I stop thinking about like what's happening,
Yeah.
like trying to analyze it. Like I'll actually just enjoy it. You know, and it's just great.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, back to collab. I'll definitely collab with other people, or make
Like type videos.
type beats, or in general make music for them. You know, produce music for them.
Yeah.
All that crap.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So anyone that wants to collab, let me know. Genre don't matter. Just bring the attitude, and we'll get something going.
Yes, sir. And that's pretty much all we have for today, to be honest.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening to the second episode. We'll be back next time. Hope you guys enjoy it. Once again, we're working on audio production, how to make this thing sound crispy, clean, and entertaining.
Yes.
You know, so
Click subscribe, click the notification bell so you know when we release. And maybe we'll do a Patreon. I don't know.
yeah, eventually we'll about to cool things.
Yeah. We'll do like hot tub streams on there and stuff.
And yes, in the future we will do video.
Yeah, eventually we are working on it. That's for sure.
All right, guys. Peace.